been a truck driver for almost 10 years and thought I'd seen it all. Overturned vehicles, strange people you meet on the road at night. But what happened last week made me rethink everything. My partner, Alex, and I were driving down a dark road through thick forest. It was a long, hard haul, but we were used to driving at night. There was no moon or stars in the sky. The road stretched out like a long ribbon of darkness, lit only by our truck's headlights. Alex had dozed off, and I was trying to keep my speed steady to stay on schedule. Around midnight, just as I started feeling tired, I noticed something strange by the side of the road. Up ahead, right at the edge of the highway, stood a girl in a long white dress. She was perfectly still, staring at the road as if waiting for someone. I slowed down, and Alex woke up and saw her too. We exchanged glances, and he suggested we stop to see if she needed help. Seeing someone standing alone out here, far from any town, was strange in itself, so I agreed. I slowed to a stop, and we got out of the truck. The girl stood there, not moving, and as we got closer, I noticed that she didn't seem to see us. Her gaze was fixed far off, and her face looked vacant, like someone who'd long lost themselves. Alex quietly called out to her, but she didn't react. We tried stepping closer, but suddenly she took a step back, right into the darkness, and vanished. We froze. There were no sounds, no trace, just silence. Thinking it was just our imaginations playing tricks, we got back in the truck. I tried to convince myself it was only a mirage, a result of road fatigue. But as we got into the cab and tried to keep going, the engine suddenly died. I checked the gauges, but everything looked fine. The cab was eerily quiet, and there was an unsettling feeling in the air. Alex grabbed a flashlight and got out to check the engine. I stayed in the cab, staring into the darkness, when I heard a faint whisper coming from the woods. It was barely audible, but clear enough to sound like someone calling my name. I felt a chill run through me. I looked around, but there was no one, just the dark wall of trees along the road. Then Alex's flashlight went out. In that same moment, he yelled, jumped back into the cab, and slammed the door. His eyes were wide with fear, and he managed to say only one word: "Drive." I didn't ask what he saw. I just turned the key, and strangely, the engine started right up. We sped off and drove the rest of the way in silence. Only when we reached a motel at the next gas station did Alex tell me what he'd seen. When he stood by the engine with the flashlight, he noticed that same girl again on the other side of the road. But this time, she was much closer, her face pale and drawn, with eyes that seemed to stare right into him. At that moment, he felt like she wanted to say something, but instead, she simply vanished. We spent the rest of the night in the motel and drove back out onto the road with the first light of dawn. We never saw her again, and everything ended fine. But sometimes, when I'm back on the night road, I still find myself looking to the roadside, and deep down, I hope I'll never see her again.